What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I have another video in our series of looking at some of the top potential prospects in this year's 2022 NBA draft. Today we're going to be looking at Adrian Griffin Jr., otherwise known as AJ Griffin. We're going to be talking about some of his strengths, some of his weaknesses, and kind of just overall what to expect from him in this upcoming college season. But more importantly, I want to hear what you guys have to say about him. So make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of him and his game. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So who is AJ Griffin? AJ Griffin is the son of a former NBA player, and so he has, top pedigree, someone who, has all the traits that you're looking for in a top prospect in the draft these days. He's in the guard slash forward mold. He's 6'6", 215, 220 pounds. So he's really well built, really offers, a ton of versatility on both ends of the floor. And what scouts really like about him is that he's, potentially one of the younger players in this year's draft, if that's, when he decides to come out. And so scouts really like, the upside with him in terms of, him growing, physically, as well as just, his overall upside and the ability to develop that at, a younger age than some of the other prospects in this year's draft. Another thing, with, AJ Griffin is that, heading to Duke, they should be, back to being, one of the better teams in college basketball this season. He should be, a key player for them, someone who really, ignites them and plays a key role for them. And Duke has done a good job with, a lot of these wing players, whether it be, Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum, etc. They've done a good job of developing those type of players and getting, a good year out of them in their one and done type year. So what are some of the strengths or things that AJ Griffin does well that makes him one of the top prospects in this year's draft class? And I think the big thing for AJ Griffin is his physical build. Like I kind of mentioned in the intro, he's built really well for today's NBA at 6'6", 215, 220 pounds. He offers a ton of versatility on both ends of the floor. Offensively, he's a good athlete. He's someone who can, get to the hoop and finish, above the rim. Not the most explosive player, but has enough athleticism to, be an adequate scorer at that level. He showcases ability to shoot the ball. Now, it's a little inconsistent at the moment, but like I said, he shows flashes of that. And then he has the ability to score, off the dribble in a number of different ways, using that size and length to his advantage and elevating over, smaller defenders. And he also offers, the physicality with that frame and kind of wide shoulders to, punish, smaller defenders if they're on him down in the low post. And then, other things that I would say he does well, or that makes him, an excellent NBA prospect, is that versatility on the defensive, side of the ball. He's got that, frame at 6'6", 6'7", excellent length at that position. And he seems to be someone who, takes pride in the defensive side of the ball. Right now, he tends to, gamble a little bit off ball, but on ball, he seems to take a lot of pride in being a good defender. And I think, with his size, with his athleticism, and his just overall physical build, I think he can come into the NBA and be, a top-notch defender once he's able to put that all together. And then lastly, for strengths, being the son of a former NBA player, he just kind of has, a good feel for the game. He's been around the game, that he's going to act, the right way, that you're getting, someone who isn't new to, the NBA, life or what it's like to be an NBA player. He grew up around that. He knows, like I said, what it's like, and, that's really valuable experience, and, you're getting, someone who is mature and isn't gonna squander this opportunity. And so I think it's really valuable for him to be exposed to that, and he knows what to expect once he gets to the NBA or college level and then the NBA. As far as weaknesses go, I think the big thing that AJ Griffin was gonna need to work on is just becoming a much more consistent jump shooter. That's something that will come with reps and fine-tuning his mechanics and getting those right. But right now, like I said, he's inconsistent with it. I think he's got a good, foundation to work with his jump shot. And like I said, it's something that's just going to have to come with more reps, you know, with better coaching, tightening up his mechanics, and just getting, you know, more consistent altogether with his ability to shoot the ball. Other things that, you know, are weaknesses or things that he could work on. He does, you know, tend to struggle a little bit when scoring, you know, in traffic. He's not the most explosive athlete, you know, in the world. He's not someone who's finishing, you know, consistently above the rim. But like I said, he's got a solid frame and he's got the strength to do it. And so I think he's just going to have to get used to being, you know, more physical, going through defenders and using, you know, his physical abilities and his physical strength to his advantage. And like I said, that's something that's just going to come with, you know, more maturity and getting used to, you know, playing the game at that speed. And then finally, I think the big thing for him is just going to be fine-tuning, you know, his shot selection and how the offense is going to be ran around him. In high school, he was, you know, clearly, you know, the best player on his team, and that led to him at times taking, you know, bad shots, whether it be off the dribble, trying to do too much, you know, with the basketball. And, you know, at the college level, I think that's something that, you know, Coach K can help kind of bring him in and reel him into the offense. And I think, you know, once he gets to the NBA, he'll be fine in that aspect. Overall, AJ Griffin looks like a really solid prospect to me. I've seen some comparisons to him to Jimmy Butler, and I think those are pretty fair comparisons in terms of, you know, physical build, how they play, the versatility they offer on both ends of the floor. Kind of inconsistent with that jump shot, something that he could definitely work on and get better at. But I definitely see the Jimmy Butler comparison with him. Now, we all know that Jimmy Butler is kind of, you know, the ultimate competitor, and it's hard to see, you know, from someone in high school if they have that in them. But I think just in terms of, you know, how he plays, who he can kind of mold his game after or kind of follow in the footsteps of, I definitely think, Jimmy Butler is an excellent player for him to follow. And I think overall at Duke this year, Coach K has done a good job, in my opinion, with, you know, a lot of these kind of one and done type wings, whether it be, you know, Jason Tatum or, you know, Brandon Ingram or whoever else, you know, it may be with Duke. I think he's done a good job with a lot of those forward type players, and so I think he should have a good season at Duke. I think he should be a one and done type player, and we, you know, should expect to see him selected, you know, in the lottery in this, you know, 2022 NBA draft. And so leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.